Good evening, everyone. So my name is Beausejour, and despite my last name, I am Anglophone, so I am the opposite of the previous speaker because I am Anglophone who married a proud Acadian. We both were educated, not necessarily in Canada, I don't want to use the word, but anyway, so we are Anglophone without the opportunity to go into the Francophone system. However, it's very important to us, and we are very passionate about having our children in French immersion. And I also am emotional, and when I see these parents in this room, the passion we have for our children and education, you should be proud that we're here fighting for a high level. So, my statements are very specific, and because I'm emotional, I did write it down, and I thought I wouldn't have to use it, but I will. So, Minister Hogan, you and I have discussed the concerns of the Maplehurst pilot. So this is an example of the system, and I'm living it, and my daughter is living it. So, you personally acknowledge that the growing number of concerned parents warrants consultation. Maplehurst pilot parents were not consulted in advance. We did not give permission for our children to lose our immersion. So under your advice, Minister Hogan, to me, the steps that were outlined was I was to address this with Principal Nowlin, and then if needed to go to the Superintendent, Mr. McLean. So, Principal Nowlin continues to state that she has not heard from many families, and therefore no public meeting will be held. This is not accurate, because parents have emailed and they have called. They have no responses. Superintendent McLean also publicly states that he has heard from families, or not heard from families. This is also not accurate. Many have called, repeatedly, with no response, including myself. So, both of them are not being truthful. So, can you imagine as a parent the frustrations that we have? So, they're not being truthful and they're avoiding the issues. So, single-handedly over the past 7 days, I have accumulated 145 signatures from Maplehurst families. This is as a result of my own work and not because I have access to the entire school. I don't have a forum in order to actually have a public discussion with all of the parents to gauge their thoughts about immersion. However, we demand to have that consultation. Okay, so it's not just the 10 families that have been reported. So, French immersion at Maplehurst was eliminated. It is not even at 50%. It is about 30% of our children's day in blended environments. So a non-speaking French student is in a French class with a grade 1 intake, a grade 3 intake, 5 and post-intensive. Who do you teach to? Okay? So it doesn't matter that there's movies playing at lunch in French class, or music or announcements. This does not qualify as French immersion. And therefore, when Minister Hogan and Deputy Minister speak that the children are grandfathered, in Moncton, Maplehurst students are not. And why is that inequity allowed to exist? Every Moncton middle school French immersion student in grade 6, grade 7, and grade 8, besides Maplehurst, continue at a 70% French immersion level. So how do we send our grandfathered Maplehurst children to Bernice McNaughton and Harrison Tremble to continue in French immersion when they're at 30%? So, I have a principal who doesn't want to meet with parents and doesn't return calls, same with our superintendent. However, the Department of Education Council just this week unanimously stated that they are against French immersion program that's being implemented. So the superintendent is under them, and yet, you know, he doesn't return my calls. And then, of course, Principal Nowlin is avoiding the true scope and will not allow public consultation. So what I have here is an endless cycle of no accountability, no responsibility, and we have no results, other than daily our children are suffering. Okay? So this is the example of living this scenario. Okay? In real life. So I guess, Minister Hogan, I ask you, will you support getting my voice at the table with the decision makers? All of the parents that I have, they're willing to attend. I need Principal Nowlin and the superintendent, and we need change. Because it's not right.
Thank you. Do we have someone like number 3? Yeah.
The lady asked the question, is the minister going to answer the question?
There's a lot of parents who don't know the answer. We're all
Minister Hogan, will you get the decision makers?
She asked the question, is it going to be answered?
Good point. My grade 6 immersion daughter is learning at a grade 1 level at Maplehurst.
So,
real problem, like a super real problem, and all we want is a meeting. We want to solve this. This is for our children.
So,
A meeting is all we ask.
so what we could do is just, we still have some people at the mics.
You want to answer?
He asked a question, it should be answered. It's a substantive question. Sir,
So the purpose of this evening is to talk about our proposed French immersion program.
It is not proposed if it's implemented.
It's not implemented.
Are you in Maplehurst?
That's a pilot program, and I will speak with the superintendent to see what we can do. Okay, because that falls under the guise of the district. So I understand.
Would you like to apologize again, perhaps? I don't think.
I didn't apologize to you. So the purpose of a pilot is just that, it's a pilot. So I think that we'll work with the district and see what we can do, move that forward. I understand that there's a number of parents that want to talk about that, so we'll try and facilitate something. However, the purpose of tonight is not to discuss the LLO pilots because there's some real successful ones.
not this one.
So
And we haven't had any other opportunity to speak.
I can hear just fine, thank you.
But
So
listen, if you hear me, listen, please listen.
I am listening, but tonight's purpose is not to talk about that experience. Tonight we're looking.
Isn't the new program based on these pilots? Is it not?
No.
Why are we in
Okay, that's a whole different discussion. We're here tonight to talk about the proposed 50-50 English and French framework, and we're looking for feedback on that. This is entirely different. It's outside the scope of what we wanted to talk about tonight, and we will facilitate a meeting with the district and address the parents.
Are you denying the fact that you're not piloting this framework somewhere in a school somewhere?
Chair, so please use the
We're
mic.
not piloting this currently. Now, the LLO will inform some of the instruction because there's some real, well, I never was saying that we did. So, the LLO pilots, there's some successes and there's some room for growth. And there's a teacher at the back that has great success with it. So, we've already heard.
But you have this on the table. And so it says grade kindergarten to 1, you have it laid out, and underneath it says current enrolled students will continue with what they're enrolled in. Maplehurst is in limbo.
Okay, as I said,
We're supposed to continue this kind of going through this. You put it on this piece of paper. We asked you a question, and we would like a meeting. We'd like to be acknowledged, and we would like answers.
okay, I thought that I acknowledged, I apologize. And I said that we will facilitate a meeting with the district.
Well, we will all be making sure that happens.
That's fine.
We're not going anywhere.
So
Neither am I.
we've lost the immersion option. We have no option for French immersion. My daughter was in grade 1 French immersion. She's in grade 6 now. We presented some of the work she's doing this year to a grade 1 French immersion teacher, and some of it is stuff she would have learned in October of grade 1. She has 2 classes that are French. The other class is simultaneous French and English education, which when you did the presentation the other night, you said like that's not a good thing because kids might only listen to the English part instead of the French part. So you'd have to have one, and it's teach separate things in French and English, right? So right now they have 1 class French that's way below the level that they're learning, that they're knowledgeable of. So they're actually not learning anything now. It's being taught stuff that they learned 5 years ago. The other classes, like I said, simultaneous. So like they don't have to listen to the French. We don't have options. There's no other schools we can put them into. We can't put them into the French school. We have no options, and people haven't been listening. So there's a lot of people here from Maplehurst tonight because this is our only way to get our voice heard. We haven't had any other options, and it's like really frustrating because it's so important. I'm an Anglophone, and I wish every day that I could speak French, but I didn't take French immersion, and I regret it deeply. But I'm at a job where it'd be really beneficial, and it's really limiting that I can't speak French. So I really want my kids to have that option. But right now, it's being completely denied and ignored. And that's why some of us maybe come off a little angry, but we're really, really frustrated. So I apologize.
Yeah, I can appreciate your frustration. As I said, we'll facilitate a meeting with the district so that we can come to a good conclusion here. It's not my job to tell the district how to make that happen, so.
You're kind of the boss, though, actually.
No. No, but I will commit to facilitating a meeting with the district and the interested parents. We've got members of the opposition here that will hold me accountable. So, they're taking notes. So, okay, I apologize. So, are we good with that? Okay.
Again, thanks for sharing. So we have, who was number 3? Okay. Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Caroline Kramers, and as you can hear when I talk, I'm French. I was not born in Canada, I was raised in Belgium, a trilingual country. So this is the story of my life, basically. We have the same issues over there, so we speak French, Flemish, the Dutch, and German. It's a struggle to learn. I manage Dutch because I went through the equivalent of the PID program. I wish I had immersion. So I have become an immersion teacher because my level in French, je peux vous assurer que j'ai les meilleures compétences possibles et une haute capacité à parler en français. Ma syntaxe, ma grammaire, mon orthographe, mon élocution sont irréprochables. So, I don't say that to brag. I mean, who cares? I mean, it's like, you don't know me. I'm saying this, I'm sharing this, because I struggle like you wouldn't believe to become an educator in this province. We are lacking teachers. We are on our needs. Everything you're talking about tonight will not happen without us. Either way, if you continue immersion, if you